Okay, let's go over how to use a session plan. Now, it seems pretty straightforward because it's all written down on the paper, but at the same time, I want to show you the experience of what it's like. Now, you can log on your phone or you can log on your computer, but right now I'm on a computer, so we can look at how that all goes down. We're going to assume that you've already opened up your account and you're in the day. So we're not going to go over the basics of that. We're just going to talk about how a day works. Now, how a day works is you've got everything laid out. At the top, it says the day of the week. In this case, Monday. On the right-hand side, you're going to see it's got the calendar, the year that we're in, and the month that we're in, and then the day that it is, which is the 28th down here. Then under that, you've got a couple little links. These are jump links, and essentially brief, warm-up, and workout prep and workout. These things will jump you to those special places. I say special places. They're just places within the lesson plan should you not want to actually click there. So if you want to do that instead of scrolling down, you can. Scrolling down also works. Now, at the very top, we've got the workout of the day. We've got the 3 different scales. Once again, we suggest when you're using a lesson plan, try to just write 1 or maybe 2 of the scales on the board. I would say writing just the RX or just the RX and the fitness is your best option. Competitor, again, is something that it's specialized for people who want to compete in CrossFit, and it's not going to make them a competitor better. Like, it's not going to bring them closer to competitor level. The idea is that as a competitor, you should be able to handle workouts like this to perform in CrossFit competitions better. That being said, oftentimes doing RX workouts will get people towards the competitor level much, much quicker than slugging it out through heavier loads or more volume or anything along those lines. So it's not saying that to be a competitor do this, it's saying that this is what competitors should be able to do. It's like sports specific to competitors. Again, psychologically, I would only write 1 or maybe 2 of these on the board, not the competitor one. Just have that in your head as a coach. Down below that, you have the actual session plan. We've recently added some really cool stuff to this. This is basically the movement classification, the workout priority, and the workout duration. Honestly, people can do this on their own, but at the same time, we figured we'd put it here so you can start to frame that in your head for how things are categorized. In this case, the movement classification, we've got hinge, pull, push, squat. You've got a hinge at the cluster, as well as a pull with the cluster, as well as a push and a squat with the cluster, but we also have a pull in the strict pull-up. We've got a workout priority, so it's saying generally where this should fall. That's we get the workout priority as a time priority workout. And then the workout duration is generally where it should fall, which in this case is a medium time workout. Then below that, we've got the brief. Now these are posted every kind of the week before on the Saturday, Sunday-ish. They'll all be in for the upcoming week. So we're kind of paying attention to how things are changing and making sure that we're getting good briefs in here. In the videos, I'm basically going over how I would brief the workout to a class. And I just brief it as though I'm briefing it to a class. And then there's a little bit of a break. And after that, there is some coaching notes that are, I say, for coaches only. So if you wanted to show your members the first half of this, you're totally welcome to. But mainly it's just kind of how I would deliver it to my people. And then I would talk about some specific coaching things to look for in the second half. I suggest watching this or listening to it on the way to the gym or the night before, so that way you have a sense of what's going on. I myself learn really visually and auditorily, so these would be what I would use more often than not. Then below that, we've got the workout design and logistics. So you read through this, and it's similar to the brief video that I do, but at the same time, it's a little bit more in depth, and also it's for people who take a little bit more in through written word. It talks a little bit deeper into what people will be feeling throughout the workout, and just kind of lays it out there in its raw, dirty details. Then below that, you've got scoring, how you're going to score this workout in any given tracking system, and then you've got the workout goal. So the workout goal usually has a couple different setups. In this case, it just says everyone. Sometimes workout goal will say, hey, for competitor, this is what we're looking for. For RX, this is what we're looking for. And for the fitness version, this is what we're looking for. In this case, it just says for everyone, the goal is to challenge X, Y, and Z. And in this case, it says the goals for days to challenge them with their loading and the clusters and the strict pull-up abilities. So you're looking to challenge in both those places. Now that being said, we talk about an intended stimulus, and that is a very important thing. We want to have an intended stimulus for any given workout. But you always meet people where they're at when you come in for the day. So you want to make sure that whenever we're in a session, we're delivering this session to the people trying to get the intended stimulus. But if you have two people in front of you who need very different things, then you as the coach need to change the stimulus for those two people. What I mean by that is you stay as close to the intended stimulus, but if you know someone needs to be working on something, then you maybe lean it a little bit towards what they need to be working on. A good example of this is, say somebody is a fantastic runner, and the workout is wall balls, running, and box jumps. So they're a really good runner, and there's another person in the class who's not a good runner. In that day, you might say, hey, good runner, your goal today is to stay unbroken on your wall balls and your box jumps, and just make whatever runs happen. Whereas you could talk to the person who's not a good runner and say, hey, today I'd like you to focus on how hard you're running. I want you to be pushing the pace on the run and surviving on the wall ball and the box jumps. So that's tailoring the stimulus to the individual, and that's coaching in essence. You need to make sure you are in there working. We're not going to hold your hand through that because we don't know your members. We're going to give you a general stimulus, and that's the intention of the workout. But then we're also going to say that you need to get in there and interact with the people and make those changes so the people get the best possible stimulus for them. And if you're not doing that on a daily basis, then you're not coaching. This program is a generalized program. Most programs that are in the CrossFit space are a generalized program, assuming that people are not coming in every single day, just because if they came in every single day, they wouldn't be resting, they wouldn't be recovering, and yeah, it's not made for that, okay? So, be coaching the daylights out of people. We're going to give a workout goal, but again, you need to be tailoring that to your people day in and day out based off of what they need. Then below that, in the lesson plan, we've got the scaling, and we talk about how to scale these, some common scales. I also tend to go over that in the video, like, hey, if you don't have this kind of gear, you can scale to this. I go over that in the brief too, generally pull back to this, and sometimes it'll be exactly the same in both places. Sometimes we'll give a little bit, some other options in the video that and you're always welcome to do whatever fits the people who are in front of you, but we like to give options there. Then we'll also sometimes have these for further study parts, and these are kind of to expand your knowledge as a coach, and we always want to be learning as a coach. If you stop learning as a coach, then you're probably blunting your overall ability to deliver information effectively. Sometimes people are happy with never growing. We're not those people, so try to keep learning. That's the nature of this business. But we try to offer things that are pertinent to the individual day. So in this case, we have pull-up virtuosity with Lori Galassi, not Glassman. And she's going to go over this video, and if you click it here within the session plan, boom shakalaka, it pops right up. And you can read through that or watch that video, and it'll help you ideally get some more information on pull-ups, which we're using in the day. Maybe give you some ideas for coaching it or some phrasing to use when you're talking to people about pull-ups. Now you go down below this, we've got the warm-up. In this case, it gives a brief time breakdown. In all cases, it'll usually give a time breakdown for that. But it says 15 minutes, and it talks about general times. So 5 minutes for the bike warm-up, here's how it's going to go. 10 minutes for the shoulder and hip prep, that's how it's going to go. And then it'll go from there into, so anything that has a green underline, you'll highlight over it, and you can click it, and it'll pop open, and you'll see how to do it. Now, it's important that you guys go over this stuff the night before, or at least sometime before class, so you're not trying to do it in class and looking at your phone or trying to figure it out, but that's all there. Then the workout prep and the workout is going to be, it says 40 minutes in this case, gives you the breakdown of 15 minutes to review and prep the cluster, and then it goes into working up to their weight in 8, 6, 4, 2 in clusters, increasing load in each set. So it's pretty specific how it asks you to do that. But again, you know your people better than we do, and you have the people in front of you, and you have the timeline in front of you. So try to do this, but at the same time, if you're knowing that you need to make a little bit bigger sets, you're knowing you're going to need to put in a little bit more coaching in certain areas, or the day just kind of goes a little squirrely, you got to be paying attention to that. This is going to give you the larger structure, and then you're going to work that down to what's highly necessary for the direct people who are in front of you. That shouldn't be done every day. And we're kind of giving you as much as we can to where if you wanted to, you could follow it to a T. But at the same time, putting your little spin on that is a good thing. It doesn't mean completely changing it because there is an intended stimulus for the overall month, but it does mean putting your spin on it if at all possible. Now, something to note, when we're talking about skill work, like review and prep for the cluster and the pull-ups here, 10 minutes prep for workout and partners of strict pull-ups, you go, I go fashion. Try to do the skill work over something like an elongated warm-up. Now, and I don't mean do one in place of the other. I'm just saying if you know that you're going to need to change something, try to shorten the generalized warm-ups and make it so they fit and are more efficient for you and your class, and go over more of the coaching components in those skill places, those skill work places, the workout prep, and try to dig into those and change those a little bit less, because those are important for long-term development because they help round out an athlete. Those are where most of the coaching happens, most of the times where you're getting in there eliciting change. Now, an important thing is it's got, at the end here, 15 minutes to perform the workout. Now, my thought process as a coach is I'm going to put most of my effort in coaching. And the way I view coaching is actually making changes and delivering information and interacting with the people during that review, prep, and that skill work time. That's where I'm like digging in on movement. I'm doing it throughout the class, but it really comes to a head there where I'm having my deep interactions and I'm making big changes and I'm teaching and I'm making all that happen. And then come workout time, I'm just revisiting what I taught. If you find yourself doing a lot of coaching, meaning making changes to movement or teaching movement changes during the actual workout, you probably missed something or you didn't do it in depth enough during that skill and prep time. And that happens a lot, and I want you to try to shift your mentality around this is when I make changes, and then during the workout time, you're paying attention to safety, you maybe are making some small technical changes to make things more efficient, but you're also making people go faster, slower, lighter, heavier. Like that's the main thing during the workout time. It's less so much the deep coaching, because they're working out, they're going fast, they're going hard. That deep coaching happens beforehand for the most part. And that's in essence how you do it. Now, in some days, we will have cool downs built in. If you know that you're the type of a gym that these people need a cool down, or it's a class that you need a cool down, then make sure you build that time in. Again, these are just more guidelines in terms of the time structure. There's always the times where things go squirrely, and I would suggest trying to maybe not stick exactly to a T on the front end, but I would always build in. So say it says 15 minutes for the warm-up. I always try to build in, I'll try to cut that down to 10 minutes. This is saying it would fit in this and it would work that way, but I always just try to shorten stuff up and see if I can end with a little bit of time, because worst comes to worst, I can have people cool down, I can talk about scores, I can high five, I can build community, and I try to build that in. We're trying to give you a structure that fits as best as possible, but I know for myself, I need to cut out stuff on the front end. Otherwise, I end up 5 minutes over every single class, and that's just kind of how I work. That's about it. That's how you use a lesson plan. Again, make sure you're doing your best to study these the night before. You're going into them just really understanding what you're about to deliver, because the variability is the people who come to class and how they interact with you as a coach. So that's your variance, and the more you have structure that you can lean on going into that, the less that variance throws you off. That's what I would say. That's our lesson plans. I hope that all makes sense. Again, on any given day, when you click through here, you get to see as detailed a lesson plan as that. There's also going to be certain days that have these like little green dots on them. Boop, boop, boop. And those green dots are usually something that's either a benchmark or a notable workout or a heavy lift. It's something that you're going to measure and maybe build up an excitement for your people. And we did that just so you would know exactly what those are. Cool. Enjoy and good luck.